Today is October 21st, 2025, but I will be talking about tomorrow, October 22nd, as that is the day that it is now in Asia, where the Tokyo market is open, where Shanghai opens in about half an hour from the recording of this video, where Mumbai opens a couple hours after that, and where the rest of Asia, Singapore, so on, is starting their day. So we had a huge sell-off in the price of precious metals today across the board, an even bigger sell-off in mining stocks. But this sell-off occurred during London and New York hours, and the physical demand has been coming from Asia. So until we get through tonight, it's too soon to say that the West has managed to regain pricing control in this market, because it had appeared that they had lost it, that these Asian fixes were pulling up the price, pulling metal out of London, sending it to the East. Well, today, this sell-off in the West, well, that makes that arbitrage even bigger unless they also sell off in the East. But the East price is established by physical demand. And as price goes down, more people become willing to buy. That's the law of demand, agreed upon by major schools of economic thought, even if not understood or believed in by the left. It's real. It makes sense. The cheaper someone's putting a price on something I'm considering buying, the more likely I am to buy it. The price doesn't change the fundamentals of what that thing is in most cases, but it gives me a better price. It allows me to save money for other things. And people want things. They might not believe in money, but they sure want the things money can buy. So what we are seeing, I believe, is the end of the paper regime. The COMEX in New York has been running a fractional reserve system with precious metals, where they have a lot more claims on metal than they have metal available to deliver in their available float. So it's like any fractional reserve banking system. You just hope there's no run on the banks. Well, it appears we're having a run on silver, and now, as I speak, platinum and gold have joined silver in backwardation, meaning the price to get it now is more than the price to get it on a future contract. So silver's been in that state for a few weeks. Platinum went into backwardation about maybe 6 hours ago, and it has remained. It looks like a stiff backwardation that they can't shake. I keep seeing these attempts to smash the price lower, and they're trying to collapse. They're trying to get the market out of backwardation. They haven't been able to do it. So it's if this is the spot price and this is the futures price, they've been smashing it down, pulling this down successfully. Then they've been trying to get it back over, but they can't get it back over because as soon as it goes, it stays outside their reach, and then they get even further off. They're trying to smash the market before the Asia Open. Look, I've studied this shit for a long time, and one thing I will say that has always seemed true to me is that you can't predict short-term price moves. That it's a fool's game. Now, look, I know there is technical analysis. There's people who try to essentially measure psychology to try to predict short-term moves. That's not my deal. Maybe there's something to it, but that's not my focus, which is first primarily an economic focus and seeking to understand what the laws of economics are going to raise the price of. So, dollar price, of course, is what I mean. At least that's always been what I've meant. We'll see how long that lasts. But in this situation, we have a physical squeeze that where the actual laws of supply and demand appear to be actually affecting a market that for a long time, like all our other markets, has reflected has been mispriced. Now, the reasons for the mispricing are varied. Part of it's just crowd psychology, misplaced trust in the system, and frankly, some of it's manipulation. Because if you're a large player in the market, like the bullion banks in the precious metals markets, you have pricing power. You can choose to build up an inventory and have a higher price, or you can choose to let an inventory run down and have a lower price. It's the same idea of the US and this strategic petroleum reserve. They believe by releasing it in strategic ways, they can reduce the price of oil. We'll see if they ever decide they want to increase that price by bidding up the market for more. But this only works until there's a run on the bank. And I guess what I'm telling you is I think that run on the bank could be tonight. And if it's not tonight, it could be tomorrow night, which is the day in India where it's supposed to be the best fortune, essentially, to buy gold and silver. So, yeah, this physical demand, these industrial users aren't going to stop buying because the price went down. If anything, the marginal buyer is going to buy when they wouldn't have bought, or buy to stock up expecting the price to rise because they've heard about shortages or they've experienced shortages. People are experiencing shortages in retail outlets around the world. Not so much in America yet, although I'm hearing, yeah, Scottsdale Mint came out and said some guy tried to buy up their whole inventory. SD Bullion put out a video, said one of the major wholesalers was essentially unable to deliver for a couple weeks. So this squeeze is going to hit everywhere. But the center of demand is India. and the Mumbai market is the big exchange, but it facilitates retailers all over the subcontinent who have been buying in preparation for tomorrow and the couple days that follow. And, once they sell out, they're going to have to buy more to replenish inventory. So, this buying season is underway, and lower prices aren't going to persuade someone to buy less. It's going to say, well, I can buy more. I can get 10 ounces instead of 9 or whatever. So there's your prediction, I guess. No, you hate to make it because these markets are complicated, and the paper sell-off can flush people out of the market. Speculators, they can take what they see as a paper profit that's worthwhile. People can get nervous if they've been planning a short-term hold, looking for an exit point. But most retail customers who buy these things, and again, I'm talking about in India, I'm talking about in China. There's a lot of speculators in America, but they're not the they don't matter so much in the physical market because people aren't buying physical bars to try to sell, because you have to pay in the premium and everything. I mean, at most, maybe they're buying SLV shares that are, locking bars in the London vault out of being able to be part of the available float. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the sell-off creates a little reduction in the SLV, puts a little more silver on the market in London. But again, the dominant force is coming from the East, and that paper price, I don't think it's going to hold up. I think they've lost control, and I think this is the end of the fucking game. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I still believe in the squeeze because this deficit has been real. Maybe some silver comes on the market. Maybe they postpone it for a couple days. Maybe they do, but there's a structural deficit that they're not addressing that's driven by both industrial demand and monetary demand for an asset that's going to hold its value when central banks are inflating away the purchasing power of their currencies. The government might not publish CPI numbers anymore, but people feel inflation. They oughta. They're going to notice eventually. And then they're going to realize that that's why these metals are going up. That's part of it. Because it's a big part, though. Because it's a signal, too. It's a signal to get out of these fiat currencies. It's a signal. Well, once this physical detachment happens, that signal becomes the loudest signal in the room. I made an offer, or I made a video when the London market goes no offer. Watch that. Give you an idea. Goodbye.